So now, for us to start changing the interface around, we're going to have to be familiar with the different parts of the AutoCAD graphic user interface, or GUI. So let's talk about that. When AutoCAD opens up, we've got something that looks like this. Along the top left, we have the quick access tools at the very top of the screen. These are tools you're going to use all the time, like new file, open file, save file, print, undo, redo. There's a little plus sign that moves around the screen while you are working. It is called the crosshair. And when you started your AutoCAD session, your crosshair is probably very small. My crosshair has been set to very large. It fills the whole screen. The big red A in the top left corner is called the application menu. And the application menu has a little black arrow next to it. Any of the black arrows show you that there are tools underneath that tool. So clicking on that reveals another list of tools. The area you do the drawing in is called the drawing canvas, and the background of your drawing canvas is probably very dark gray. I've set mine to white here. Up at the top of the screen, the tools are all grouped together on something called the ribbon. We'll talk more about the ribbon in a little bit. Down the bottom of the screen is something called the command window. And if you remember our image of AutoCAD back in 1982, well, this is one thing that hasn't changed since the program first came out. You can talk to AutoCAD, and AutoCAD will talk back to you through the command window area. There's a box for typing in help. If you have a question about a command, you could type in the command, you could type in a phrase, you could type in some keywords, and that will bring you to Autodesk Help to get some answers that might get you unjammed if you're stuck. In the top right, we have the window control for AutoCAD. So hitting the X closes the whole program. Hitting the minus minimizes the whole program. And then hitting this button will either maximize or restore down the AutoCAD window. I point that out because there is another X and another minus and another restore down symbol here. But these are only for the drawing that's currently open. So we can have several drawings open at the same time in AutoCAD. Without closing the program, we can close individual drawings that we have opened up, or minimize them, or restore them down and tile them next to each other so we can see them all at the same time. The title of the drawing is the very top on the blue bar. And down the bottom of the screen we have something called the status bar. And next to the status bar is the hamburger. At the end of the status bar we have our coordinate display. And let's go take a look and see what these things look like for real. So now here are our quick access tools in AutoCAD 2019. Here is our application menu. If we hit the black arrow, we hit that black arrow, we will see that there are tools underneath. New, open, save, publish, print, close. Here is the drawing title at the top of the screen. AutoCAD gives the drawing a generic title until you save it with something specific. Here is the ribbon up at the top. Here is our drawing canvas. This is the command line. Here is the status bar. Here is the hamburger for customizing. You see my cursor is a very small plus sign, little cross shape. Here is the help. This is close AutoCAD, restore down AutoCAD, minimize AutoCAD, and close this drawing, restore down this drawing, and minimize this drawing. So now there's some changes we're going to want to make. First of all, we're going to want to grab the command line by the little sticky grips on that left-hand side. We're going to grab them and bring them down to the bottom of the drawing canvas. And when they get down there, you see what they're doing? They're expanding and filling the whole bottom of the screen. So I'd like you to grab your command line and pull it down and then release it because we want it to fill the bottom of the screen up. And then if you move your cursor to right here, this sweet spot right between the canvas and the command line, you'll see the cursor changes and you can actually pull it up. And you want to see 3 or 4 lines of text up here because AutoCAD will ask you questions, and if you can only see one line at a time, it will be hard for you to respond. Here is the customization hamburger, and I point this out because at the very bottom of the screen, we've got some of the tools visible, not all of them. So the tools on the status bar that are turned on are light blue, and the ones that are turned off are gray. Well, we want to go in and click on the hamburger, and we want to put a check mark in front of all of the status bar tools. Now, as I'm doing this, you're going to see the status bar gets longer and longer and longer, but that's okay because we want to see all these tools. Now, what happens is when all the tools are visible, we can decide which ones we want on and which ones we want off. And honestly, if we don't know how to use the tool, you're best off turning it off. So right now, why don't you go through and deactivate or turn off all of the different status bar tools, because right now you don't know how to use any of them. Okay, and having things turned on that you don't need can create some problems for you.